What's up? How you doing? Uh, it's Deja the Optimist, and I'm gonna show you something new. I have a new track coming out, and ooh, I have a tummy cramp as well. I moved my stuff around, so I have to figure out where things are at. Okay, excuse me, and I'm gonna show you a new track that I got coming out on the 28th of March of this year. It is titled Lavender Town. Uh, no real association with Pokemon, but I did think that the synthesizer was a little Lavender Towny, and we're gonna maybe get into that a little bit. So please excuse the fact that I don't know how to spell lavender. I figured it out later on before release, so that's good to know. And this will be the first video of its kind on a rainy Sunday here in Columbus, Ohio. I'm gonna show you how I made this track essentially. So we're gonna just get right into the meat and potatoes of it. Letting it start off. It's a slower track. It's a real vibey, moody. It's a little It's a little clicky, I think, probably because whoa, it's got 85 milliseconds of buffer length. That's a little crazy. We're gonna turn it up though. Turn up the buffer length even higher. Good thing is we're not recording anything. Doesn't matter too much. It's just gonna be really slow on the computer. So keep that in mind. I gotta figure out how to, because if I switch it to a different driver, then I can't do my screen recording. So I'm not really sure. I gotta figure that out. This is all very new to me. Okay, so don't get your torches and pitchforks. All right, we're gonna break this down. I've got this little E flute guy coming from Fruity DX10. I use Fruity DX10 way too much, honestly. I use all native plugins, and that is because my computer is slow and it starts to get buggy like it does all the time. So native plugins are easier to work with. Now I could use third parties and then just like record the patterns or melodies that I make afterwards, and I've kind of started to do that a little bit, but it's a process. So I've kind of made it shoot, dog. Let me plug this in. I don't know where I'm at. Speaking of dogs, you might hear my cat. He's just a demon child. Yeah, so I know you can't see the keyboard, but sounds a little bit like that. It's probably best that you can't anyways, because the delay is insane, bro. Ooh, why is it so low? Right? Just have a little bit of an attack on it. I got the wave. I'm not really sure how much I changed it from its like original default settings. I usually at least try to change things around a little bit, to say that I I designed this sound. I didn't design shit. I just tweaked a couple knobs and called it a day, baby. But yeah, so this pattern, pretty simple. If you want me to name the chords, I could. I'm just not going to right now because I just don't really feel like it, to be honest. I don't know music theory for shit. I just play around. Like, this was probably in the moment thing. Now I will say, when I had initially worked out this track, I had visualized it in my mind, in my mind's eye. I had envisioned this, heard this, whatever, this nasty fucking thing. And it didn't, of course, it was just the dun 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 dun. You know, so I did that. I did a little bit of fucking around with, at least in terms of like, it just has this really tiny, fast arpeggiator on it with just a random direction. So it has a little bit of a pitch difference, and it gets a little sharp, gets a little flat, and just kind of makes it sound a little shitty, if you will, like in an artistic kind of way. So yeah, it started out like that, and we'll go from there. But obviously, I had to kind of get some chords in there. We needed to develop it a little bit, and we decided that that's going to actually kind of be like the drop or the chorus part, so to say, the whatever your little musicale terms that you want to use for. So we've got this pattern here, right? We've broken this one, and this guy's playing throughout the entirety of the time. I think I only got a little bit of little verb on her. I do have, I'm not sure if these are automated or not. It's been a little while. So the way I'm going to try to do this, I'm going to try to record these closer to the time that I actually make these, because it takes, a couple months at least. Maybe once when I get like real good at like making the track and doing the marketing and dropping the track, like I could do it in less time. But like this track, I first started this like January. Yeah, I'd say January. So, with that being said, some of this stuff I'm trying to figure out. So I have quite a few things on this guy actually. I have a reverb. I got Fruity Squeeze. Also, with all of my effects and such, 99 to 100% of my plugins are also FL natives. So I mean, FL Studio really freaking sponsor me at this point. The splitter is great. That's really just like EQ and shit, trying to mix it up, make it sound nice. But the squeeze, let's see what the squeeze even did to it, because like I'm not the wrong goddamn thing. I am. You are such. That makes sense, because I'm like, dude, I don't even see, like, that must be automated. This, because squeeze, that's kind of a harsh plugin. Just got some reverb on it. Oh, and I got that all the way wet, no dry. That's how, yeah, I can't have it any drier than that, bub. So then we had, I'm going to back it up a little bit. This layer on here. This is kind of a cool one, and we automated that chorus effect on there. I like this one, and this is the one that's kind of a little more prominent, more prominent sound, if you will. We've got a kick side change to it to give it that chug sound. It's actually a kick that is being used. Right here, it's a crunch kick, but it's not on the master, so it's silent. We have it side chained to this sound here, so if I turn this off, you know what I'm saying? So, this also came from, where did this come from? Came from FL native plugin, SimSynth. Use this also very regularly, SimSynth Live. It's got a lot of decent plugins. You figure out how to use stuff, and you can make it maybe sound better than you initially thought. I mean, I've been using these plugins for years, so I kind of have a little bit of like an idea of what I want to do with them. So, I mean, it's just got kind of like a saw type oscillator with a little bit of noise. The noise just kind of adds like a little bit of texture, just like a touch of text to your sound. And then we have a chorus that's going to be affected into the chorus. And that just makes it sound a little bit crazier, just adds a little more chaos to everything, because this is a very chaotic track. It's very heavy. I wanted the drums hit very heavy, which is what we're going to enact right now. Forgot to turn this. You can hear how different. We really got that shit pushing, that side chain. So with these drums, the drums are the simplest fucking drums, dude. They are a 8-beat pattern that we use over and over again because I'm lazy, I guess you could say, but I guess that's how a lot of drums are done. Just in these tiny little patterns you actually can't see because my little, what do they even call it? Channel rack. They call it a channel rack. My little channel rack's on my other screen, and I only have the one screen. But gosh, maybe I should move that over here. I don't. Look at that. Okay, so let's make this smaller. It's a little obnoxious. All right. So it's literally just 1, 2, 1, 2. Add a little bit of variance into it with a different pattern, but that's the meat and potatoes of the drums throughout the whole shebang. I like simple drums. I like making them a little funny with some funny auxiliaries if I can, but without trying to overdo it depending on the track. And just moving on down the line here. This was just a little, just a little shake pattern. Just give a little texture into this little swing to that. Right, so we'll get on to this next pattern here. What is this guy? Oh, the sub bass. This guy is loud. That's exactly the goal, was to just crush the beat with this sub bass. I think Demons by Joji might have sort of a similar type of just like heavy ass sub bass that just destroys the rest of the beat, and it just gets lost in there. I mean, when it all comes through, it's just this. I mean, it's compressed, but kind of like something getting torn apart. You know what I mean? Took a lot of work to get that sub to sound quite right. That's actually came from Sublab. This is just the classic drive. Probably kept it the same as how I got it. I might have changed the sound wave to a saw. It might have been a square or a triangle. Fucked around with the distortion, probably took the compressor off of it. And then sidechained it to pretty much all of the melodics in the instrumental. So for the choir sound, for the E flute, right? We have it's just giving a major amount of sidechain to the entirety of the beat. You might have heard there after it kind of had that little break, we added this little layer just in the choir. Yeah, just to give it a little extra drama, if you will. That little sound just gives it a little more atmosphere. And then we drop it. So that was that sound I was telling you that kind of like started the whole track, just sitting on the couch, just kind of staring at the ceiling and you know, just that's how music's made, baby. Tell you what. But put a little panning onto it so it kind of goes back and forth, you know. But everything's kind of got its place and it kind of stays there, right? I try to move things around left to right depending on, you know, obviously you want to make up space. I think anybody actually cares about that much. But going back here, I'm not really sure what this one is. Oh, just my little. This actually sounds like a flute. This is a sample, CLFHH. To be honest, I'm not really sure where that comes from. Sample pack from Splice, I know that much, because I was looking for water, my water's empty, so that's great. Get a lot of samples from Splice. Splice is great. So yeah, wait, I forgot to add that little thing in there, so it gives it a little more. Very eerie, you know, very eerie instrumental here. Didn't want to give away the lyrics yet. I will in a second. Just if there's anything else that I wanted to throw on here. Yeah, dude, I have this. I have the what is it called? Buffer length. I have the buffer length turned way up, dude. And the latency is crazy, but it still is crackling and popping because of my laptop. I mean, I have a decent laptop. It's a Dell XPS 15 or whatever. I think it's just old. I've just had it for a while. And my cat is probably going to try and play some notes here. So hopefully that doesn't... Excuse me, sir. Yeah, this ain't going to work for you today. Yeah, let's just get into it, man. So for the lyrics, I've kind of been working with different stuff. I'm kind of basing it on what I see on the playlist here. So my lyrics, or not my lyrics, my vocal chains have been a little bit different per song because I've been trying to figure out the best way for mixing them. I am doing all of the mixing for the tracks, the instrumentals, if I am doing the instrumentals or the beats. As well as doing the recording here in the studio room, and then mixing it off, sending it to a master engineer. But yeah, so I've had to do things a little bit differently. For this track in particular, we're gonna look here. So I have this one.
If I could lose, seen the way you move, it's not subtle, I'm in trouble.
Turn these automations back on.
Late. It feels worth it to be safe. Cold room, glass full of doom. I've been hurting, looking for courage. You hear me dissociate.
It sounds like it does have a little bit of stuff on it.
She's manipulative.
Got a lot of reverb.
Changing my code for us, it's old and rusted.
Reverb is kind of weird for me. I only have Fruity Reverb 2, and I'm getting kind of sick and tired of using it. I like to have a really subtle reverb with most of my vocals. I like them to be pretty dry in general. Although I do think that reverb and delay can help kind of put it into the mix a little bit better. I tend to think that the reverb just kind of adds more muck than anything else, and maybe that's just because of this reverb that I'm using. I'm not really sure. And I have this high cut pretty high in particular, and no low cut, so but the decay time's only 0.4 seconds, so like it's really fast. Um, I have another reverb here that's got like a second and a half about of decay time, and it's up a little bit higher, so you're gonna hear that more. It's probably for my chorus. The delay, I do use delay a little bit more liberally. I think that it sounds a little bit better than reverb in a vocal mix, but I still have that turned down pretty low. I have that too. I don't know what that means, an 8-second time delay. I have another reverb on there because apparently I wasn't satisfied with the one. Like I said, I mixed this months ago, so kind of looking back, it's like we're looking at it for the first time together. Like we're uncovering a little secret of how I mixed months ago. Not like much has changed, but you know, it looks like this one the decay time's also really low. This one's a little bit higher. I'm not really sure why I added 2 there. I guess there really is no rhyme or reason why I do most of the things that I do. I'm trying to hear a sound and I'm chasing it, baby. That's what we're looking for. This is just to add a little bit of distortion. It was supposed to be like some sort of saturation plugin that I found for free online, but it really is just more of like a distorter. At least that's what I used it for one particular track, one particular part in the track. And then another reverb. Can't believe that. I used 3 reverbs. So I told you I like to have dry vocals. This is like one track where I was like, nah, the vocals can't be dry. Obviously, I have a mixing chain which literally consists of fruity. Like I said, bro. And I think I'm pretty impressed. Not sure why. I think I also wanted the vocals to be limited, to be compressed, side-chained. Excuse me, my lord. Side-chained by this kick over here. Anyways. Yeah, I still used this one. Like I said, it's like it can be used a little bit like saturation. It didn't really turn out like saturation though. Bunch of EQs and a compressor. Not really going to get into that portion of it. The auto tune is turned up pretty high. I believe the speed is up pretty high. Did want it to sound a little more robotic, and also the chorus effect. That's kind of what I was looking for because I was like, it sounds like a little bit. Underwatery, just a little bit. That's that chorus effect there.
If I could lose, seen the way you move, it's not subtle, I'm in trouble. Been working real late, it feels worth it to be safe. Cold brown, glass full of doom. I've been eyeing, looking for guys. You'll hear me.
This is a weird vocal thingy I put on here. It doesn't even sound that good, to be honest. There's a couple parts. I'm like, what? It's so quiet in the mix you can barely hear it. I don't even know if it adds that much significance, to be honest. That might even be a little bit of a... That might even be something that I probably would have taken out after... Anyways. Here, moving on. Yeah, my left and my right.
In trouble, been working real late.
I think I used different takes, 3 different takes, which is kind of excessive, but it will definitely add a very large chorus kind of sound where you know, and you can really widen out your vocal if you use different takes. So that's obviously what I was going for, and I mean, it turned out pretty nicely. So all in all, you know, the track has got this dark kind of haunted in a way kind of vibe. That's kind of why it's titled Lavender Town. You can see my CPU is like, wow, what are you doing? I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. This is so terrible for you. I know. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Just turn the buffer length all the way up to ridiculous height. See if that's any better. Really, no. Oof, I'm so sorry, you guys. We might have to cut this. I'm gonna need to figure this out. So that's something that it's tweaking, dude. It's got 147 runs, which is like I don't even know. I use 32 buffer length. I don't know what that means. Yeah, we're gonna need to figure it out. But I mean, that's pretty much the gist of it. So that is Lavender Town in a nutshell. I don't want to give you guys too much of the meat and potatoes of the track because you're gonna need to figure it out when it comes out on March 28th. Deja the Optimist. You can see me in the next video. Plenty other videos just like this to come. Peace.